time. I lived in a house. There were my family on one side, and the other side there was another family, two great big families, 10 kids. And so there was lots of fun growing up with all kinds of kids around and playing games and everything like that. And I never felt in any way deprived, and we really weren't. I mean, I always had something to eat. I had a roof over the head and all that. So, I mean, I had written assignments for school. In grade 9, I wrote a short story. That was an assignment. We had to get up and read in front of the class. And I got up and read mine. It was a big hit. Everybody was laughing. They thought it was great. And the teacher told me I should be a writer. So, but I thought a writer would be, I mean, I read all the time, loved books. And in the back of my mind, I figured eventually that's what I would do, but I thought it would be too dull, you know. Wouldn't be exciting enough to be a writer. I had all, you know, I wanted to go to the Olympics, I wanted to play in the NHL, and I wanted to travel the world and be an explorer and whatever, you know, private detective. The impressions of when you're young and up to a certain point are very strong, you know, almost, I guess, into maybe the early 20s. And they're still there, but they're not as strong because everything is not so new, you know. Everything you're doing is something new and you're really paying attention to it. And it's, you know, and it's going to be difficult or a lot of fun, but it's all, you know, you really absorb it. So when you write, these things are pretty strong and you see them clearly, and the feelings are ones that you can, you don't always, not always easy to identify, but you know, you get them, you find them, you get them. I write from feeling more than anything else. Like I'm an intuitive writer. Yeah, so I have a sense of the story, and this is a good story, or this is something I should write about, and I feel it, and I do go from there. But I don't construct artificially, like just to make a point or to express some kind of ideology or anything like that. And I think when you read, there's something should happen that's good. There should be a brightness, a lightness, something, you know, in there, a kinship with the writer, or you should get into the story. I mean, even as the human condition is not always pleasant. In fact, you know, it's built in that it's not going to be pleasant in many ways, and it's not going to end particularly pleasantly unless it's very sudden. Nevertheless, as people go through this, you still see a lot of good humor, you still see a lot of courage and a good, bright attitude, and the stoicism in a nice, good way. And I mean, if you went around just with a long face and life's tough and all that, it's not going to help the next person. They're going to get in the same mood, you know. So if you're even going to write something, even though you want to do the truth of it, like, nevertheless, there are ways to do it. Well, I was in Montreal in '89, '90, and well, this a girl called me up and talked to her on the phone. She was in Fredericton, and I said, "Why don't you come up and visit?" And she did, and stayed a week or two, and then went back, and come up again a month later, and stayed about a month, and then I went back with her, and that's how I ended up back here. But when I got here, I can remember going from Quebec, driving into, we drove down in her car, and being in New Brunswick and seeing English signs and stuff, and people talking English, and oh geez, you know, I mean, I really kind of feel this is where I belong right here, you know. I mean, enough of this being in foreign places, and I really felt close to the place, you know. And, you know, I was just kind of aware of you know, you're born here, you grow up here, you know the people, you understand them, and it's kind of a home feeling, you know. So a lot of people end up back where they start out. I mean, I'm not over in Chatham, but I'm not far from it. But it's still the same province. But people do. I mean, look at Hemingway. He ended up back in Idaho, you know, and Jack Kerouac back in his hometown. And you don't plan it, you know. You don't probably never dream you're going to do that, but that's what happens. And a lot of things are not in your control, you know. You might think it sometime they are, but they're not.